Hey guys, good evening to all of you. Hi, I'm Subin and welcome to my channel Inner and Vision, wherein I dissect all the new technologies and all the things that are happening across the globe, and I try to understand it, and in that path I try to make others also understand the whole thing, the things that I discover. So the reason why I am making this live stream this evening, today is the 1st of Jan 2018, is because I wanted to touch this topic from quite some time, and I actually don't really have much of time to do the editing part and all those things, but I have been doing research on this particular topic, and I wanted to put in a little bit of my understandings and my insights so that it can help someone across the globe. So the topic that I'm going to discuss today is going to be blockchain, and it's basically the base understanding of the underlying technology called blockchain. Today Bitcoin is a very familiar term. Everybody across the globe are talking about Bitcoin. Everybody is telling that the rates of Bitcoin is fluctuating from so and so. People who have been investing from the year 2009, anybody who has invested $100 in the year 2009 are millionaires today. So basically I wanted to touch it. I just wanted to share my knowledge that I just acquired by reading a few books and basically doing a little bit of research into it. So to begin with, before we go to the whole technological part, that is the blockchain technology, we need to understand money. What is basically money? When we talk money, in a very simple term, it is just the exchange of debt. So money is as old as language. So about 10,000 years back, people used to transfer their goods, or money was used in the shape of shells. So it has been so important to the human civilization. So earlier they used to use these kinds of shells to basically trade. As we all know, barter system was the first system that was used, wherein for an example, if I have got apples and I want grapes, so basically what I used to do is I used to give my apples in exchange of the grapes to the person who wants apples. So but this cannot be a successful system. One, because I have to always find a person who would want my apples and who is ready to trade it for grapes. And again, moreover, these apples and grapes cannot be stored for long. They are very highly perishable. So this was never going to be a successful system in terms of trading. So then came these shells, and then again what happens is, as the time goes, these old systems get transformed and they change themselves, and new systems come into existence. So when I talk about shells were replaced by the next system, which was gold because it was very shiny and it had value, and it was a little the commodity part, that is it can be mined, and there was a finite amount of gold across, so it had its own value. Then the gold system was changed with silver, and again these are all done for comfort, and after that came the stainless steel coins, which were replaced, and again Once paper was discovered, then again paper was interestingly used. It was very, very popular. The reason being, gold, though it was a precious metal, it was very, very heavy, and the transportation was very difficult, same as silver. So now when paper came into existence, it was very easy to transfer. So that was the reason it was used. Now if you look at the new systems, what is basically happening is paper is getting replaced. In the year 1970s, money was completely based on the amount of gold, and in the year 1970, Federal Reserves came into existence, and they came up with a plan wherein the money was completely it was actually initially equated with gold, that is the gold standards, and that was completely taken off, and it was changed to the money was the printing of the money was solely based on trust, which was like a very bad idea to begin with. I don't know how it got passed and people started accepting. That is the reason why in this world so much of trouble is persisting. Certain countries which are extremely rich, they are, just for the namesake of this whole money thing, they are suppressing other countries across the globe, and they are affecting, all in all, everybody in this world. We are basically modern slaves. Actually, if you look at it, we are basically modern slaves. We work for a system, we work for a nation, we work for an ideology that was not ours. We are born to this slavery. So now this needs to change. The reason why it needs to change is because, as humans, we are not bound to somebody's ideas. We are not a species who will be suppressed. It is our innate thought process, our innate knowledge that has taken us to a different realm altogether. So now this whole monetary system which governs everything, all the governments across the globe, all the judiciary, all the bureaucracy, everything is governed by money. And the problem is, it is completely centralized. There are so many banks which decide the fate of countries. There are so many banks and so many governments. There are so many families which define the fate of human beings. There are many people who die. Death is something that comes with this whole centralized concept. So now, rather than going to the philosophical angle, let me just tell you what happened. In the year 2009, there was a huge financial crisis that happened because of the property bubble that burst, and it completely shook the whole economy across the globe. Now, in the year 2009, an anonymous person came up with a concept, and his or her or the group, his name is Satoshi Nakamoto. So what he came up with is a white paper wherein he came up with a solution for this. He or she or it wanted to change the whole monetary system. It wanted to completely change from the so-called centralized position to a very decentralized position, wherein there can be a peer-to-peer transaction that can happen directly from one entity to the other. So now when you talk about peer-to-peer transaction, what happens is basically, in this system, rather than depending on a central bank, what happens is, if I have to transfer a fund to another person, I can do that using the underlying technology of cryptography, which is totally based on blockchain. Blockchain is basically, I'll give you an example. If you look at this picture, Alice wants to send money to Ben. Then what he basically does is he creates he does that using a block. And that particular transaction, if he wants to go through the Bitcoin transaction process, what he can do is he can basically create a transaction. Then again, if you look at the flow, a block is created. This particular block is broadcasted to everybody across the globe. It is totally decentralized. There are many big servers that are there across the globe, and people are working on validating these transactions. These people are called the miners. They have very high computing power within their setup, wherein with high-end PCs they are able to validate these transactions. There will be a question or a problem that is created during every block, and these problems are solved by these miners, and this happens in every 10 minutes. So the validity of this particular transaction is decentralized. It is not controlled by any central authority. It flows across the globe in a decentralized pattern, and people are able to do these transactions, and these are validated by decentralized miners across the globe, and the transaction is being done in a very short span of time, and there are the charges that are put on these particular transactions are extremely low compared to the conventional Western Union transfer or any other transfer for that matter. So basically, Satoshi Nakamoto came up with this whole concept of cryptography being used in blockchain, and he called the coin Bitcoin. Now, I'm not doing this live stream to explain to you or talk to you about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just the first coin, though it is very, very important, and it is the strongest cryptocurrency across the globe. But my idea is to try to make you understand what blockchain is. So if at all you want to get anything out of this particular live stream, what I would request you guys to do is do a little bit of research on blockchain system. Now the thing is, every era we had a change in the monetary system, and the biggest change in this world is gonna be the blockchain system. This blockchain system is like the internet of money. It is, we are well aware that in the 90s, early 90s, when internet was developed, nobody knew about it. And in the beginning, everybody thought that sending an email is basically internet. So it's something similar, like the whole monetary system is changing, and we are embracing a new technology, a new system, which is going to be extremely prevalent in the coming years, and it will happen in a very, very short span. Like it will happen so soon that you will not be able to adjust to it until and unless you learn about it right now. The thing is, now each and every one of us has a smartphone. Can you imagine 5 years back, the percentage of people who used to have a smartphone, highly, very, very, very less compared to that of right now. Now if you have a normal phone, that is considered like that is considered not at all up to the scale. So now what is going to happen in the future is these big companies, they are going to offer cell phones. The cell phone rates are going to come down big time. The reason being, anybody who wants to make business can only do that, effectively if it is done online. I can give you the example of Amazon. Amazon is a completely, it's one of the biggest conglomerates across the globe. And what do? They basically do e-commerce. So for that, what do you require? You need an internet connection and a device. So until and unless people have enough of devices and enough of internet connections, their business will not flourish. So that is the future. So everybody is gonna have a digital device in the future, and money is gonna be completely changed. The way we understand money is gonna be totally different. Everything is gonna be in a secured, decentralized environment. There are many cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is one of them, and we've got Ethereum, we've got Zcash, we've got Ripple, Power Ledger, a lot of them. We have close to around 1,500 cryptocurrencies as of now, and it is increasing by the day. One more thing that I want to disclose before I finish this video is basically we are at the phase 1 of this digital revolution. Governments across the globe are trying to understand what is happening. They don't know the implications and how fast things are going to change. They definitely speculated, but they don't know the exact effect what is going to happen. But if you understand the base of this whole concept, then you will know that if you don't learn it as of now, you will be the loser. So remember the date 2nd Feb 2018. It's a very important date. So if you it was I'm so sorry, I had made so many glitches across the video. I don't know whether I'm able to communicate the concepts that I wanted to do. This is a very last moment plan that I did, but I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it on the 1st of Jan 2018. And if I thought, if I make a video and then do the editing and all those things, it might take a long time. That is why I came to this whole thing. Now to finish the whole live video thing, what I want to say is that there are many ways you can purchase Bitcoin. And one more thing I would like to add in, I am in no understanding that I want you to understand that I am not a financial advisor at all. If at all, I have just learned about this technology in the past 2 years, and I will not suggest anybody to invest any of their money into this technology without doing your due diligence. It is a very booming technology. It's as of now, you cannot call it a safe technology, but again, it's not that unsafe as well. If you do your proper research how to do it, there are many ways how you can add in your funds, or retrieve your funds, purchase bitcoins, do your trading. There are many websites like Bittrex or Poloniex or Binance. There are many places where you can do the exchanges, where you can purchase other alternative coins other than Bitcoin. And again, in India especially, there are many companies like Zepe or Unocoin, wherein you can use your bank account and register, doing a KYC and purchase your bitcoins. And first of all, before doing all these things, you have to understand it. So what I'm urging you to do is do your research, work on it. Just search what is basically Bitcoin, or what is blockchain, what is the underlying technology, how does it happen, what is a block size. Every 10 minutes there are so and so numbers of Bitcoins that are released. What is it? Every 4 years it is cut down to half. So these are just some insights of what I understood. I wanted to share it. Thank you so much. If it had been helped you, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would like to know all your suggestions, and I wanted to make a lot of videos in this angle. So if at all it helps, please let me know. Please let me know with your valuable comments whether or not it helped you or not. Thank you so much. Have a good day.